Right, so we need to create a rectangle. We're on page 8, a rectangle 1.5 by 4.25. We center it slap bang at the top, so on the inner circle of these three, and then we're going to move that 7mm to the right, and then we're going to round these corners off, and then we're going to trim it, and we are then going to mirror it to the other side. And then, whoops, Daisy, going the wrong way, and then we are going to draw a line which is from the sort of bottom of the curve 1/2 mil down from one side to the other, and then we're going to mirror that to the bottom. So that should be easy enough. So we are looking at 1.5 and 4.25. The hardest part of this is remembering the sizes of these things. So rectangle tool, and it's 1.5 comma 4.25. Enter. And we're going to position that from its midpoint. So select it first, use the move tool, and then come down to the quadrant point. Now we haven't got the quadrant point again. What I could do this time is maybe track from that point down, and it'll hit the intersection. So that's done another job for us. So much more in the way of sort of inferencing in this program using the polar tracks net settings than there is in SketchUp. But nonetheless, SketchUp's still a great package. So we need to move this to the right. So just as long as it's horizontal, we can enter 7, enter. So that's going to give us 7mm. Then we might as well round these off first. So again, use the fillet tool. It's the same fillet size, which is 0.5mm. We'll just go hit the down arrow and choose multiple again. And then we can click, click, and click, and click. So that's that done. Hit enter. Then I'll right click and recent input. Let's go for trim and hit enter, and then click on that one and that one. So I'm trimming out between all these two lines, and I can select this and delete. Then I can choose this, and I can mirror that from the midpoint of that over to the other side. No, I don't want to erase the source object, which is this. Then the line tool, come down from there. So hover, don't click, just hover at that point, and then track down 0.5, enter, and then we can come across to the intersection point of that. Okay, so all in all, nothing too tricky. Now we can marquee select there and marquee select at that point, and then we can mirror that about the midpoint going horizontally, and that's our strap holder put in. The final bit that we have to contend with is just drawing a sort of a brief outline of a strap, and we'll hatch it. We've still got to hatch these things here, so we'll hatch those in a second and finish off the watch. Okay, so we're nearly there. We're going to create a polyline this time. We're going to start at this point, which is -6 and 35. So it's 6 in the negative x direction and 35 up from the center. And then we're going to come down at 5-degree angle, and we're going to come 15mm down. And then we're going to come in 1.5, down 1.5, across 11.5, and then follow this back round. And then when we get to this point, we enter C, and it'll just jump to the start point, providing we've done this in a continuous loop. If we haven't, and we've started sort of halfway around it, then C is going to take you back to your start. The close command will actually just take you from your last point back to the first point, wherever that was. Hopefully, if we do it correctly, the first point will be our starting point, which is -6 and 35. Now it's going to be a polyline, and the polyline is going to be a global width of 0.15. So we might as well start that. Should we do it that way, or should we do we'll add the global width afterwards. We'll start off with a width of 0, unless it's already set to 0.1 from previously. So I'm back into AutoCAD. We're on the polyline tool, and we are going to start at -6, 35, enter. So that's going to give us this option. Now we've got a couple of options. We could either go down and set 5 degrees on this by clicking on the down arrow and choosing 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. Alternatively, now I've had to hit escape and I've lost the start. So negative 6, comma, 35, enter. And this time I'm going to do a different method. I'm going to use my tab key. I'm going to jump over to the angle and I'm going to set the angle for 95. And then I'm going to tab back. So this basically means I'm running up and down the 95-degree angle, and then I can enter 15 and then hit enter. So that's basically given me a 5-degree run in whichever direction I want to go. Now we're going in 1.5, so make sure it's horizontal. 1.5, enter. I hit the comma there by mistake, so to get back, again, use the tab key and 1.5, and then I need to go comma 0 this time. That's going to go 1.5 mil in that direction. Then make sure I'm vertically down. 1.5, enter. I think it was 11.5 going this way. Enter. Then coming back up. Now I could use that point and track across, and that should snap to that point there. Then I can go back 1.5, enter. And now I'm going up this way. So I'm looking at 95 again. So I use the tab key. 95, tab, not enter. And then it allows me to draw these. It locks it out at 95 degrees. And then I can enter 15 for my length. And then C for close. And that takes me back to that point there. Now the global width of this, control 1 for properties, is 0.1, so we need to add a 5 onto the end of that, so it's going to be 0.15, and that's that bit sorted out. And then we offset this a distance of 1 mil, and the global width is now set to 0. Okay, so just go back down to this, and we use our offset tool, distance of 1, enter. So we choose this and offset to the inside, and then select this, and with our properties change our global width to 0, and that's going to turn it into just a normal thin line. Now we can select both of those. We can hit our mirror, and we can pick any point on the central mirror line, providing we go horizontally, click, enter, and that's put the strap in. All that's left for us to do now is a little bit of hatching, and we'll come back and finish that off.